Stealth camping happens on the margins of ordinary places, where tree lines, empty lots, and roadside pull-offs go quiet after dark. By day, these spaces are forgettable. By night, every passing light, distant footstep, and shifting shadow begins to feel deliberate. When someone chooses to sleep just out of sight, who else may already be watching from the dark? In this video, we look at 5 most disturbing stealth camping encounters ever recorded, all captured by real people, on real cameras. Brendan, a solo UK van camper, whose channel usually follows quiet overnight park-ups, road trips, and low-key adventures in places most people pass straight through. His videos are normally calm, practical, and grounded in the routine of traveling alone. In February 2024, that routine brought him to Jaywick on the English coast, where what began as a normal stop at the end of a driving day slowly turned into something far more serious. The trip starts innocently enough. After leaving Cambridge and passing through small villages and open countryside, Brendan drives into Jaywick expecting little more than a rough-looking seaside town and a place to sleep for the night. But the first car park immediately feels wrong. Burnt bins, rubbish, and the sense of being badly exposed make him abandon it almost on sight.
Way. Wants me to stay down here? Oh my god. Look at all that. Sounds like a flipping bonfire or something. In there. Looks like a few of these bins have been set on fire a few times. Look at the rubbish. This is apparently where I'm supposed to be staying tonight.
A second spot seems better, just hidden enough, just quiet enough, and he convinces himself it will do. Still, the tone has shifted. He avoids drawing attention, checks the signs, lowers his profile, and keeps noticing things that don't fit. Lone figures moving through the area, music from portable speakers, motorbikes circling, the strange feeling of a place slowly emptying around him. By the time evening settles in, the confidence is gone. He admits he no longer trusts the car park and leaves again, following instinct rather than convenience.
I've seen a few boy racers doing donuts at the mini roundabout up there. That mini motorbike that was running earlier on has been firing up again. I don't know if I feel this car park or not. When I started cooking dinner, there was a few cars parked around me. There was a van over there. And now I am the only one in this car park, and I wonder why. I'm going to follow my gut instinct. I'm not parking here tonight. I've just got a funny feeling about it. And I think when you have that feeling, best thing you can do is move.
What he chooses next is worse in a different way. The final park-up sits alone beside a field edge, cut off from houses and road noise. Exactly the kind of hidden place stealth campers often look for.
Right, after traipsing around for the last 20 minutes to half hour trying to find a spot, there's apparently a quiet little park up at the end here, maybe. This'll do me. I'm alone, but I mean there's no other houses around me, so it's not as if I'm alone in a housing estate.
At first, that silence feels like relief. He closes the curtains, settles in, and tells the camera it is perfectly still outside. No traffic, no voices, nothing at all.
Nice and quiet here. Not even a sound of a distant car. Just how I like it. I don't think you can see much out there, but it's absolutely dead quiet. But thank you ever so much for joining me. I will bring you back in the morning and I'll show you a proper look at this place. Couldn't really see much when it's pitch black, but yeah, I appreciate you joining me for this adventure. I hope you've enjoyed the video so far, and stick around next week as we explore a couple more places on our way back to Shrewsbury. I'll see you then.
Then the calm breaks. He hears movement outside the van, then a sound at the door, then another. His voice changes immediately, from tired to alert, then to panic, as he realizes someone is close enough to touch the vehicle.
I think someone's outside the van. +2. Someone just tried the door.
A moment later, he decides he cannot stay. He starts the van and gets out of there, shaken, disoriented, and barely filming as the situation collapses around him.
Right, whoever the that was has now gone. I'm gonna get out of here. Oh my god. Oh, fuck's sake.
Only afterward does the full extent become clear. Brendan explains that glass from the smashed front window ended up across the driver's seat and dashboard, making the van impossible to sleep in and forcing him into a cold 3-hour drive home before sunrise. He believes whoever approached the van first tried the side door, then saw a covered shape in the cab and assumed it was worth stealing. Once he shouted, they ran, and as he drove back up the track, he saw a car in the distance speed away. He repaired the broken window temporarily with bags and tape, but the real change was less visible. After hundreds of camps, his idea of a safe, isolated spot was no longer the same. If the quietest place on the map can also make you the easiest target, what exactly was waiting outside that van in the dark? The next case from Love Sundays. The channel usually follows quiet travel through Cornwall, beaches, roadside camp spots, coastal views, and the routine details of life in a van. That normal, practical tone matters here because nothing about this stop is presented as extraordinary at first. In September 2022, on a dark roadside pull-in in Cornwall, the night begins like any other stealth camp. Find a legal-looking space, close the blinds, keep the profile low, and settle in.
I'm just trying to work out what this sign means. So it says, parking for cars, midnight to 9 AM, 1st of May to the 30th of September. This isn't a camper van, but it is a van. If I'm gonna stay here, I'm gonna have to be really, really quiet about it. There's another white van, exactly the same as this one, just parked further down the road. And if that can stay here tonight, then I'm pretty sure that I can, but I need to not make it obvious that I'm gonna be staying in the van. So I'm gonna pull the blinds across now, and then probably just...
He cooks inside with the windows barely cracked, already planning for the possibility of being told to move on, but still treating it as a small inconvenience rather than a threat.
Tonight, here's what I'm thinking I'm gonna do, is I'm not gonna pull the bed out so that if I do get asked to move on or anything in the night, then I can just get up and go, essentially. I'm gonna cook my dinner inside the van with all the doors and windows shut because I don't really want to bring attention to myself, because if somebody walks past that lives here and they see that I'm cooking with the door open, then they're going to think that I'm probably going to be staying here.
The first shift comes when another van appears nearby, close enough to make him rethink how visible he really is.
I'm not sure whether you saw that, but there is another van parked like right in front of me. They might end up staying here tonight, I don't know, but it's one of these things where if there's more vans in an area, the more chance that you've got of somebody telling you to...
Checks the blackout curtains, locks the doors, leaves the keys within reach, and goes to bed with an exit plan already forming in the back of his mind.
Okay, so this is my bedtime routine when I'm in the van. 1, lock the doors. 2, keep my keys ready just in case I need to get up in the night and just go. So they're going to be left just over here. Make sure I've got some sweets for watching a movie. And then just get into bed, get cozy, turn the lights off, and go to sleep.
Then the normal rhythm breaks. A sound outside drags him awake, and within seconds the uncertainty hardens into something more specific. Whoever is outside is not just knocking, but testing the van itself.
I just heard something outside. I think they've gone. They literally tried to get in the van. It wasn't just a knocking, they were trying the handle. Let me check outside.
When he speaks again, his breathing has changed. He cannot tell whether this is someone forcing him out or someone trying to get in, and that distinction stops mattering very quickly.
My heart was pounding then. I mean, they were either trying to move me on or trying to break into the van. Either way, not pleasant. I think that if I'd heard them coming in more, I've got a metal pole here, I could have just got out and not done anything. I'm not moving.
He stays put, alert and armed, too shaken to sleep, waiting for the next attempt that never comes. By morning, the area looks ordinary again. Other campers are visible, the van is intact, and he still has no clear answer for what happened there.
Morning.
Morning.
That looks good. We're going home for that now.
See, it appears people don't mind you camping here, but here's me trying to be discreet all night, and then these guys next to me are just like pop tops up and everything. That knock last night could have been a number of things. It could have simply been somebody trying to break into the van. It does look like a builder's van kind of from the outside, so they might have been trying to break in and get some tools, but then if that was the case, then they probably wouldn't have just tried the doors. I tried to be really stealth and not let anyone know that I was staying in it, but you know, maybe it's the roof deck.
He leaves without proof, without damage, and without certainty. If the vehicle looked empty from the road, who kept trying the handle long enough to know it might not be? Our third comes from Karl of Welcome to the Woods, a channel built around solo woodland camps, rough shelter projects, and long stretches of quiet time in isolated forest. Most of his footage is practical and patient. That is what makes this one land so hard. In February 2024, deep inside a managed patch of woodland, he walks in expecting a routine check on a cabin frame he had been building by hand, and instead finds it destroyed in front of him, like something had only just left the site.
Don't know what is going on here. This woodland just gets stranger and stranger, but the gutting thing is I was hoping to show you lot that cabin built from start to finish. It was just going to be a little cabin. Might as well show you it now. It's wrecked, but I might as well show you it's wrecked now. But I'll show you the video I was starting to make that would have probably took a month or two to put up, although there weren't a lot of work put into that frame.
What should have been a normal update turns immediately into damage assessment. The frame is overturned. The work is wasted, and because the area is supposed to be private, Karl starts with the simplest explanation. Someone has been coming into the woods without permission. Then the trail cameras make the problem worse. After hours of reviewing footage, he finds what he believes is a figure moving through the trees at night, then again in daylight, someone dressed to disappear into the woods rather than pass through them.
There's a figure at night time that's in the right hand side of I believe it's camera 6, starts off, comes out of the woodland, and then all of a sudden it seems to trigger the camera again and then come back out. That again happens about a week later on camera 4, but this time it's daytime and it's a bit more explainable. I mean, it looks to me like someone's in there poaching for the deer perhaps, or doing a bit of wildlife photography, but whoever it is shouldn't be there. They haven't got permission to be there. It's only me. I've phoned the landowner Chris. He swears blind that no one else should be in there. It's quite secure as well. I've never seen anyone in the 2 years that I know in there, even on any of the trail cams. Now, trail cam 1 didn't do very well. It's definitely, again, if it's not the same person, it is a person. They're dressed up in some sort of camouflage or poncho. I mean, it looks like they've got a big beard. I think it's a man, to be honest with you.
He returns near dusk to look around for signs of trespass, but the forest changes as the light drops. The air goes flat. His voice shortens. Then he hears it, the sound of wood splitting somewhere ahead in the dark.
It's got darker a lot quicker than what I thought it would, and it's drawn in pitch black, inky black. I'm almost on top of the site of cabin number 2. That is where cabin number 2 is, or was, should I say. You should all remember, it should be put together by now. I was proper agitated that someone's done this to that. I don't know if you can hear it. I didn't see anything, but I could hear like wood splitting, like as in like someone chopping wood like with an axe or something. I'm not entirely sure what that would have been. That was it. Right, okay. I don't think that's got anything to do with poachers, that noise. That's pretty much what happened to me last January. So
He cuts the attempt short, backs out, and later admits the fear got physical fast. Racing pulse, broken breathing, the sense that someone unseen was close enough to react to him.
sorry that last clip ended abruptly. Walking into the wood, I contemplated whether or not to start filming. I had an unusual sense of anxiety that kept me from having the light from the camera in my face, affecting my ability to see very well. Then when I finally did pluck up the courage to start talking to the camera, splitting sounds happened. Twice on the camera and 3 times after I shut the camera off. I needed to get my full sight back, and this sent my anxiety through the roof. My heart was beating through my chest, breathing went haywire, so I needed to end it there. And I went.
That retreat is the first escape. It will not be the last. A few days later, he goes back and commits to staying the night. In daylight, he studies the wreckage and insists it was not a collapse but something lifted, turned, and forced down.
So despite the cabin being staked into the ground, it was turned up on its heaviest end, with the door frame being up in the air, and then it obviously collapsed down. But it was also put in, so it would have been facing into these woods, and it was actually turned around and then put on its end by the looks of it. There's no other way it could have got like this, really. So, strange. So I'm going to be camping about here, just with my camera bag and tripods hanging from the tree.
He rigs a trip alarm around camp and waits.
I've not got a clue what that noise was. There's about 8 different noises, sound like someone was walking around about 40 yards away. I had no bang off of the alarm, but definitely a banging in the woods. Don't know what the audio is going to come up like on there, whether it caught it or not, but 100% it was like at least.
Hours later, sometime in the dark, movement starts again beyond the tent line. Not close enough to trigger the alarm, just close enough to be heard. By morning, there is no clear evidence beyond the ruined cabin, the camera footage, and the fact that whatever moved through those woods knew exactly how near it could get without being seen. If it was only a trespasser, why keep returning after the cabin was already gone? Will's whereabouts, a channel built around solo travel, stealth car camping, and nights on the road. Most of the videos are about finding places to sleep, making them work, and moving on by morning. In April 2021, what begins as a routine overnight stop on the edge of Surrey starts out normal. Drive, scout, park, settle in.
Obviously later on this evening it probably won't be that busy, but there's so many lorries, HGVs I think they call them. I guess there's a lot of lorry guys that come here and sleep. I'm just going to park very simply right now, and then a little bit later on we'll find somewhere more stealthy to stay.
When the service station proves too exposed and too expensive to risk, Will does what he usually does. He moves on, trusting a quieter location nearby to give him the night he came for.
Okay, so after much deliberation and contemplating, and after flying the drone, I don't think I'm going to even try and stay here tonight. With the sign saying that I could get a £100 fine if I stay longer than 3 hours, and the fact that I don't fancy pushing my luck anymore with covering up number plates and doing anything else illegal, so I've decided we're going to move on swiftly out of here. I hate to say it because I feel like I've failed, I feel like I've let you down, because I know a lot of people watch these videos for the risk aspect of it, but it's just not worth me ending up in prison or getting a hefty £1,000 fine for number plates or £100 fine for staying more than 3 hours. So also the fact that these stealth camps, they're not meant to be, you know, in dodgy places. Sometimes yes they are, just for the fun of it, But I use the app Park for Night, and I actually have found a really cool, quiet, secluded parking spot only a couple of minutes drive away, which is right next to a lake, and it's completely free, I think anyway. So I figured, why not head there? I can wake up in the morning in the middle of nature, listen to the sound of birds and hopefully some fish swimming, even though I don't know how you could hear that. So yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll head to a nice foresty area and...
Instead, the second sight feels wrong almost immediately. Cars are parked without any clear reason. Engines cut out. Men sit and wait. A figure comes out of the trees. Then another lingers near the car park, and Will starts to realize this is not an accidental gathering, but a place people understand.
I hate to say it, but I'm going to. I think this place could also be another dogging location. Right off the M25, so anybody who's tired looking for some hanky-panky can have a good time. And there are woods right at the back. Why on earth do I always find places like this? See, why is there somebody just sitting in their car over there? And another person over there. There's a van there, there's a few cars there. Do you see what I mean about being a dogging spot? Right next to the forest. And somebody's literally just walked out. Why are you walking your dog at this time of night? Surely not. Honestly, this place definitely has something dodgy going on. I've just gone for a wee in the trees over there. Some guy turns his engine off, starts walking towards me. No dog, no nothing. Maybe he needs a bit of fresh air, maybe he also needs a wee. But now he's just gone back to his car. I think I'm going to sit tight here, watch the football.
He stays in the car and watches, hoping the pattern will explain itself. It only gets worse. One man circles the vehicle, another passes close enough to look in. A third disappears into the woods, followed by someone from another car. By then, the football is forgotten. The lights stay off. The only thing left is the feeling that he has parked in the middle of something he was never meant to interrupt.
Nah. You can't see. Can you see? There is a bloke just there, behind a tree. Oh God, what's he doing? What's he doing? Don't come here, mate. I'm actually scared. Oh God, hold on. This bloke's been doing circles around the car. Imagine if I turn the lights on. I'd probably have a queue of people outside. I've just had the eyes from a bloke that literally just walked past my car. And he's walked straight into the forest. And another bloke in another car just followed him. Why on earth would people be here? It only makes sense that they're here for one thing. Why do I have to come to these spots? I could move, I should move really. I can even still hear the motorway. I might move, I don't know.
The confrontation never becomes direct, and that is exactly why it works. No one knocks, no one speaks, but the movement keeps closing in, and the silence around the car starts to feel deliberate. Then an online search gives the place a name, and confirms what the traffic in and out of the woods had already suggested.
You are not going to believe what I've just found online. I just typed in the location where I am, which is called Ockham Common Boldmere Car Park, and I've just typed it in on Google with the word dogging after it, and it's come up with a few links. And some of the websites that come up, the first one here says homophobic no buggery poster pinned up at a known dogging site on Ockham Common, which is where I am now. A homophobic poster prohibiting buggery has been pinned up a tree known as the dogging site in the county. It adds, gentlemen, if you really can't find love in the specialist establishment or online, please clear up after yourselves. To think that I was stealth camping initially at a service station, and now I am in what seems like the gay capital of the dogging world. It all makes sense with all these cars coming in and out, with people keeping their lights on, and all these men that keep walking in and out. Why is there a bloke just in the forest having a cigarette? I'm gonna close this blind up. I've had enough of this. Nah, there's two blokes in the woods. Nah, what's he coming out the woods for like that? This is creepy as fuck.
That is enough. Will starts the engine and leaves. 20 minutes later, he reaches a different car park, calmer, quieter, and far enough away to finally sleep. The next morning brings open countryside, birdsong, and nothing to prove what happened beyond his footage and the decision to get out when he did.
With no creepy people walking around the car, whew, I can relax. So as you saw, I decided to leave that place which I was just previously in because, to be honest, I just didn't feel comfortable. There was a lot of grown men walking in and out of the forest, walking around my car, looking at me. I tried to film a few of them, but it's a bit difficult because it's pitch black. And obviously I'm pointing a camera at them, so yeah, just didn't feel comfortable or safe there, especially as my car doors don't seem to be locking tonight. So I thought, you know what, the best solution is to drive somewhere else. Whatever was going on in the previous spot, enjoy yourself, have a great time. I'm just not into all of that, so I would rather find a place where there's nobody parked. And right now, I've just come to a place called Newlands Corner. Never been here before. Potentially, I could get a parking fine. I really have no idea. But I'm going to stay here tonight, and in the morning, there should be some actually really nice views of the countryside. So hopefully, I'll be able to show you that with the drone. It's been a really hectic last hour, umming and ahhing what to do, where to go. Feeling a bit uneasy, but anyway, we're in a safe, secure location. A lot of people ask, Will, do you ever get nervous? Do you get scared? The answer most of the time is no, but today, the last couple of places, I just haven't been feeling it. So I guess a top tip for anyone camping or car camping, whatever, if you don't feel safe, then yeah, head.
If the men outside never said a word, how certain were they that someone was already inside the car? Our fifth and last case comes from creator Noah on his channel, Noah, a small personal page that feels more like a direct upload archive than a produced horror platform. There's almost no polish to it, which makes the account harder to dismiss. The channel presents footage the way it was captured, without much distance between the event and the retelling. In April 2020, Noah says he pulled off near Sunriver, Oregon, into a forested roadside area and decided to sleep in his truck for the night. Nothing about it seemed unusual. It was quiet, dark, and ordinary enough to feel safe.
I'm currently sleeping in the back of my truck right now. I don't even know what time it is. And there's someone walking around my truck right now. If you can hear that, it's pretty loud. He's been walking around for like 20 minutes already. My gun's in my cab though. I don't really know what to do. I'm a little freaked out right now, and it's like pitch black outside.
Then something starts moving outside. At first, it's only footsteps on gravel, slow and deliberate, circling the vehicle without a word. Noah stays still, listening for the sound to fade. It doesn't. It keeps returning, close enough to suggest whoever is outside already knows someone is in the truck.
Probably like 2 in the morning. And he just keeps walking around. And he's like really close to my truck. I've never been this scared. And like, this doesn't make any sense because I parked somewhere where you couldn't see. No one was on that road.
The shift from unease to fear happens when the person stops pacing and starts making contact. Noah whispers that they're touching the truck now, feeling along the body and canopy, not by accident, but with purpose. He admits his gun is in the cab, out of reach, and suddenly the space he chose for safety feels far too small.
He's touching my truck. He's literally touching my truck. How am I supposed to get him away? He's literally knocking. He's literally knocking on my truck. The canopy, the back door's locked. I've never been this scared before ever. I don't think he knows that there's anyone in here. I'm so scared right now.
When he checks the time, it's 2:30 in the morning. A flashlight finally cuts through the dark, and for a split second there seems to be a figure outside the rear window before the movement breaks and the sounds begin to pull away. Noah waits for the moment he can leave, then gets out of there.
I'm back here. He keeps walking around. I don't get it. I'm like, how is he not? I've noticed. Doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna try to still walking around my truck. I'm gonna try to see if I can flash my light to get him scared. So he runs away. There he is. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I think I see.
Back home the next day, the truck carries what the camera couldn't fully capture. Smeared handprints, dragged fingers in the dust, fresh scratches, and marks around the canopy where someone appears to have searched for a way in.
So I'm back home. This is the day after. He was trying to peek in my truck quite a bit with all these marks. I didn't even notice until I got home. Handprints there, a lot of scratches, stuff like that. Dragging his finger on my side of my truck. Whoa, looks like to be trying to get inside my truck. That's really all I could tell from when he was walking around. That's new. Don't know how that got there. More handprints trying to get in my truck. At least the back canopy was locked, but yeah.
If that person never intended to enter the truck, then why stay outside it that long? Places like these are easy to dismiss in daylight, but once the road's empty and the campsites go still, uncertainty has a way of moving closer. These encounters leave behind the same question every time. Was it chance or were they found? If this story stayed with you, consider liking the video and subscribing, then continue into the next case waiting in the dark. Some nights do not end when morning comes.